Later in this episode... But first...
Hey everybody, it's Molly with AllEars, and I'm here today with a brand new video. Now there is so much delicious food in Walt Disney World. We've done tons of videos about all the best things to eat. But when you look at the reviews and you ask people what the worst restaurants in Disney World, one type of food keeps coming up again and again, and that's Italian food. Why is the Italian food in the Disney World theme park so bad? That's what we're gonna answer today. I'm headed to the Disney World theme parks and I'm gonna eat different Italian cuisines, pastas, pizzas, more pasta, probably more pizza, and see, why does everyone hate Disney World's Italian food? I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. Let's get into it. P.S. There's going to be some good stuff along the way too. Don't worry. I am about to go dine at Tony's Town Square restaurant here in the Magic Kingdom. It's right in the middle of Town Square, and of course it's themed after the Lady and the Tramp when they go eat their spaghetti, and it's so cute. But with an adorable theme and a great location, you'd think the food would be better. But right now on AllEars, it has less than a 7 on our reviews, and it is repeatedly voted as one of the worst sit-down restaurants in all of Disney World. So I'm gonna go check it out. Maybe I'll find a dog to eat spaghetti with me, and we'll see what we think. There's a great detail over here I gotta find right outside the restaurant. Look at this. Remember in the movie when they're on their little doggy date and they draw this in the cement? How cute is that? Also, I've been waiting to wear this shirt for this moment. I bought this shirt like months ago and I haven't worn it yet because I knew someday I'd have to come eat at Tony's for a video, and today is that day. One of the reasons people like Tony's Town Square is because of the location. As you can see, it's got this big patio right here, or right in the middle of Town Square. When a parade is running, it's great viewing for a parade. Sometimes they even do dining packages where you get reserved seating on the patio for a parade. So they've done Christmas party and Halloween party events here where they do like desserts and snackies and appetizers and stuff here, and then you get reserved viewing on the porch. So that is one of the pluses. Prior to the closure, this is where you would wait. Now you can do the mobile check-in and you can wait in here, but you're not supposed to sit anywhere, or you can wait outside. And they used to be playing The Lady and the Tramp on this TV screen right here, so your little ones, or you could watch it. So now they're just kind of asking, there's some dots, there's some seating, but not very much. My first items have arrived, so they do have specialty coffees here like cappuccinos and lattes and things, so you know I'm going to get a cappuccino or a latte. This is a latte. And then they brought out some bread. It's a focaccia bread, and then they've got an olive oil dipping, not sauce, it's olive oil with spices in it to dip in the bread. And then I also am starting with the caprese salad. This is one of my favorite appetizers because I like how fresh and light they typically are. So it's tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, basil, and then a balsamic glaze on top. We're gonna start with the caprese. Got myself a big chunk of tomato, some fresh mozzarella. Oh, they salted it. Okay. I'm not mad at it at all. The tomato could be fresher, but it's also not tomato season, so that's not Tony's fault. But cheese is good. I like the balsamic glaze. Wish there's a little more balsamic glaze, but overall, the caprese, pretty standard, nothing that exciting, but always a hit in my book. For my entree, I am trying the shrimp fettuccine Alfredo. You can also do it with chicken, or you can do it sans meat if you'd like, but of course, you know, classic fettuccine Alfredo, and then it's got some yummy looking shrimps on it. It's not too bad. I mean, it's creamy. The noodles are cooked well. Let's try a shrimpy now. The shrimp are cooked well. They're a little salty, which I don't know if that's because it's seafood and it's naturally salty, or if they salted it more than I prefer it. I don't love salted, super salty stuff. So this is good. It's nothing spectacular. Like, you could get this at Olive Garden. Why would you go to Disney World to eat something you could get at a chain restaurant when you could go eat at somewhere like Via Napoli or Tuto Italia or somewhere that's got like Topolino's where they're making handmade fresh pasta every day? If you look out this back window, you can see that Lady and the Tramp are actually dining here as well. Isn't that cute? I'm also trying the strawberry shortcake for dessert. This is actually their plant-based item, but I love strawberry shortcake, so I figured I'd give it a whirl. It's got the cake and then a whipped topping and then balsamic soaked strawberries on top with some fresh basil. Definitely very moist, so I don't know if I'd know this was plant-based, because sometimes when you eat plant-based desserts, they're really dry because they can't use butter. But it's pretty good. I like the strawberries. I can definitely taste that they are balsamic marinated. And I'm enjoying this because it's not super, super sweet, which a lot of desserts are. Here's the problem. I'm going to talk about this every table service restaurant I go to forever, probably. Very few times have I eaten a dessert at a table service restaurant where I'm like, wow, that was totally worth it. Because 9 times out of 10, you can go find a better dessert out in the park. And especially when you're not on the dining plan where dessert's included. For me, this is good. I am enjoying it. But you know what's better? A Dole Whip, a Mickey bar, you know, something like that outside in the park, and you're probably full from your meal anyway. So this isn't good enough for me to tell you, yes, definitely save room for this. But it's not bad, and I'm enjoying it, even though I am not a plant-based eater. I think this is a good plant-based dessert. Just wrapped up my lunch at Tony's, and overall it was fine. This still is not Italian food I'm going to recommend. This is not the sit-down restaurant in the Magic Kingdom I'm going to recommend. It just wasn't anything exciting or overly delicious. You could literally get it at a chain restaurant. So I hate that because the theming is so, so cute. The restaurant itself is so, so cute. It's got a great location. I wish the food was better, but it's just not. So let me know your Tony's experiences in the comments. Make sure to go leave those reviews. But for me, it's fine, but it's not great. Probably the #1 offender of good Italian food, Pizza Rizzo. Now, Pizza Rizzo is not alone in this. It's one of those restaurants that serves those round, pillowy, individual pizzas. They also sell them at Pizza Fari when it's open, and Catalina Eddie's here at this park when it's open. Sometimes you'll see them at a food court at a resort as well. But why? They're not great. They're round, they're pillowy, they're super doughy, there's not a lot of cheese. We're gonna get one. To be fair, haven't eaten one of these since I was probably a child, and I loved them as a child. So we're gonna head to Pizza Rizzo and see what we think. One thing I will say about Pizza Rizzo, considering it's Muppets themed, it is pretty funny. There's little sight gags everywhere. Like this sign right here says, the best pizza on the planet, but the best and on the get faded out, so it just reads Pizza Planet, because this used to be the home of Pizza Planet, the Toy Story themed pizza restaurant that serves these same exact pizzas. So there are some pretty funny things if you look around a little bit. Here is the sign for Pizza Rizzo. This is actually a really fun detail that a cast member showed me once. At night, the lights flash out, and they're doing it now, but you can't really see it because it's daytime. But it says it's rat pizza. There it goes. Pizza Rizzo, like most restaurants right now, quick service restaurants, is using mobile order, so make sure you do that. Pizza Rizzo's showcase of advertising stuff we used to sell. That's actually very funny. I probably would buy a Pizza Rizzo shirt or a koozie or a cup. Hello, it said number 2?
2?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Cast members are very nice in here. Thank you.
Your silver bar will be in the dining room. Napkins will be on all the tables for you.
Thank you. This is actually really funny. Somebody got married. Jill and Lil, daughter of Will and Jill, son of Bill and Phil. DJ Electric Mayhem, playing the greatest wedding hits of all time. BYOB and P. I assume P is for pizza. But look at how it's themed in here to be like a wedding reception. This is actually very funny. One thing that is nice about this restaurant is that there's a ton of seating, indoor and outdoor, upstairs and downstairs. So unlike some other places, you're more likely to get a seat quicker. And I do like that there's outdoor patio seating on a not hot day. Alrighty, here's everything I got. I got one of the pizza meals. It's those pillowy pizzas. I got pepperoni. They've also got a meat lovers and a cheese and a vegetarian. They come with a side of Caesar salad, or you can swap in cuties like the little mandarin oranges if you'd like. Just an iced tea, and then a cannoli. I got some red pepper flakes and Parmesan to put on it, but we're just gonna try it first. I mean, it's just so meh. The crust isn't cooked all the way, it feels like it's not crisp and crunchy like good crust. It's so doughy. The sauce is not holding up. Okay, I dumped a whole pack of red pepper flakes and Parmesan cheese on this one piece. Let's see if that helps. Now it just tastes more like red pepper flakes, which I love, but it's just really not, meh is the only word I can use to describe it. It's fine if you're hungry. I haven't eaten today, so it actually is like not the worst thing, but kids are gonna like it because it's pizza. If you're starving, it's fine, but they've improved quick service so much in the parks. This park in particular, ABC Commissary got a whole new menu. Rosie's All-American Cafe has gotten some new additions. You can do docking bay, you can get a Ronto wrap, you could go to Baseline. There are so many better options than this, but let's keep eating. Let's keep going. Let's try this Caesar salad. You know, it's not the worst thing to eat something green when you're in Disney World. It's a fine Caesar salad. I mean, there's nothing special about it. Caesar dressing, croutons, lettuce. I mean, I love Caesar salads, and I used to eat the chicken Caesar salads at quick service restaurants a lot when I didn't want something super, super unhealthy, so it's fine. I like that you get a salad on the side instead of fries or something. That's a nice little change of pace. And lastly, let's try this cannoli. It tastes good. I am no part Italian, so I can't really be the judge of this, but I think if you were actually Italian, you would not consider this a good cannoli. You can kind of see it on the inside there. It's chocolate chip. There's definitely that orange zest you associate with cannoli, but I think the downfall is the crust, like the pastry. It's not thick enough like a good cannoli. So again, it's fine. It's not life-changing, and there's better desserts. If you do choose to eat here, which I'm not recommending really for most people, I will say, sorry to interrupt my own thought, Breedlove told me the plant-based meatball sub is fabulous, so plant eaters, you may want to come here. But if you do eat here, I wouldn't say get dessert here. Like most quick service places, the dessert is fine, but you can get better desserts out at the snack stands around the park. Another Italian restaurant that doesn't quite hit the mark, Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano. It's back here in Disney's Hollywood Studios, kind of near Muppet Vision 3D, and it's a full service restaurant, and it's again just kind of meh. I ate here recently on the Did Disney Ruin Hollywood Studios video, which we can link for you, and we can flash back to that meal right now. I love fresh lemon on some seafood, so we got that. That lemon was a good choice. I can't say there's anything super special about it. I'm gonna try it with the pickled pickles. I didn't even know it was a thing, but she said it was great when you did that, so she was right. That actually is delightful. I'm actually much more impressed than I thought I would be. It is the shrimp Campanelli pasta. It's sauteed shrimp with Campanelli pasta, which are like the little trumpet looking ones. And then it's tossed in a 4 cheese sauce with cauliflower, sun-dried tomatoes, and fresh spinach and onions. And she said all the vegetables are marinated in white wine before they're tossed in that cheese sauce. Wow, it is so good. It's so creamy. It's like the most grown-up, amazing mac and cheese. And it's a pretty big portion. I think 2 people could split this, especially if you do an app, or especially if you've got a lot of snacks out there to eat. So I think 2 people could split this with some bread, maybe an app, and then go out and eat snacks for the rest of the day. And I think you'd be very happy. For dessert, I am trying out the Ghirardelli chocolate cherry torte. It's basically like chocolate mousse, and then it's got like little dried cherries in it. I like chocolate mousse, so I'm enjoying it. Wasn't that a good time we all had together? So again, it's a fine sit-down restaurant. It's not bad, but it's certainly not great. In this park especially, there are more fun and better sit-down restaurants like 50's Prime Time or the Sci-Fi Diner. I will say, in my experience, Mama Melrose's is better than both eating the quick service round pizzas or Tony's at the Magic Kingdom, but it's still not my choice for a sit-down restaurant. Obviously, I'm not going to do a video about Italian food and not come eat inside the Italy Pavilion here in Epcot. There are a couple different locations that you can eat. There's Tuto Italia, which is a full service, kind of more traditional Italian food, so your pastas, and they're also attached to Tutto Gusto, which is a wine cellar when it's open, and they do some antipasti, some charcuterie boards, wines, and then there's also Via Napoli, which is a pizzeria. And it's one of my favorite restaurants on property. I'm so excited to go there right now. I've been literally saving these pizza ears just to wear there. And we're gonna go check it out. And why this? If you eat Italian in Disney, this is the one you should do. Fun facts about Molly time. I went on my first date with my husband at Via Napoli, and we got engaged right here in the middle of the pavilion. He told me on our first date that if you hold hands walking across this pavilion with someone, then you're going to end up getting married because it relates to the one in Europe. I don't know if that's true or not. He might have just had a really good line, but it panned out for him a few years later when he proposed. Here is Tutto Italia, and again, it's attached to Tutto Gusto. I've had good food at both of these places too. I really like Tutto Gusto. It's just a place to kind of pop in, get a nice cocktail and some snack during a hot Epcot day. There's also this pizza window here in Italy that a lot of people don't know exists because it's rarely open. It's usually only open during the busiest times of year, like the holidays, and sometimes on the weekends. But that's a place you can go as well. That actually is great pizza, but not as good as the pizza we're about to eat. I love this restaurant. Just look at these cool light fixtures. I just checked in. I'm waiting to get seated. It started drizzling, so I've been moved inside to their lovely, like, outdoor but still indoor patio, and my starters and cocktail have arrived. So I got the mozzarella e caprese salad, which, as you probably know, is tomatoes, basil, mozzarella cheese, and then it's drizzled with some olive oil and some spices, which I'm excited about. And then I also got one of my favorite cocktails of all time, an Aperol Spritz, which is Prosecco, which is Italy's version of champagne. Aperol, which is an Italian, what is it, aperitif? I don't know, it's bitter and it's like a liqueur. And then they put a little club soda and orange in there. And I'm very excited to dig into course one. It's so good. It's one of my favorite cocktails. Like I said, I've had a great one over at Tutto Gusto as well. But the reason I like it, it's not super sweet, which you probably know that about me already. I don't like super sweet cocktails. The Prosecco's got a little bit of dry and it's a little bubbly. And then Aperol is actually bitter, so it kind of balances it out. So, a little bite of my salad. Good big chunks of cheese. Now, the tomatoes aren't as flavorful as I would like. That's not their fault because it's not tomato season. But I'm loving the pepper. Normally a caprese has balsamic glaze on it when I think of it, but this one has olive oil and pepper and salt, and I love the pepper on the tomatoes. This isn't anything that crazy. It's not that unique, but it's good if you want a nice, refreshing, light starter that I can't stop eating this whole time. My entree has arrived. Of course I got pizza. This is one of my favorite specialty pizzas they have here. It's called prosciutto e melone, which I am butchering these words, except for maybe prosciutto. Anyway, it's got prosciutto, the deli meat, and then it's got cantaloupe, which I know sounds crazy, but I promise it's amazing. And then it also has arugula and cheese and this beautiful crust. It's so good, I might cry a little bit. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Now, I know what you're thinking. Prosciutto and melon, what? But the first time I came in with my mom, we wanted this one and we were like, can we get it without the melon? And the server was like, just try it with the melon. If you don't like it, I'll take it back, but I promise you'll love it. And it's something about the salty ham and then the sweet melon, and then you've got that really good cheese and the freshness from the arugula. It works. Oh, it's so good. It's the best pizza in Disney World, and maybe the best pizza I've ever had. Actually, it's definitely the best pizza I've ever had. My other favorite pizza is the carciofi, which is also a white pizza, and it's got artichokes and truffle oil on it. That one's also amazing. And a pro tip, they do, this is the individual size, but they do large, and then they do a meter one, which is huge. On those, you can actually split it half and half between two specialties, or to create your own toppings, and that way you could try more than one. So if I was here with my husband or my family or something like that, we would get the large and get the carciofi on one side and the prosciutto and bologna on the other side, and that's the best way to do it because you can try more than one pizza. Now, the reason that this restaurant is called Via Napoli and the reason that this pizza is so good in general is because it's themed after Naples-style pizza. They actually installed 3 different ovens to make sure that it cooked just the right way. They import the flour. Basically, any ingredient that they can import, they do, so that way it's as authentic to Naples as possible. I've even been told that they get the water from a certain place in Pennsylvania because the pH balance is the most similar to the water in Naples, Italy. And it's amazing. It is truly the best pizza ever, and this restaurant, well, the restaurants in this pavilion are the exception to the bad Italian food at Disney World. Even though I am very full of cheese and pizza, I couldn't resist dessert. This is the cannoli. I figured I would do the cannoli because if there's one thing that Disney does not do especially well, it's the cannolis. I know they do them at Pizza Rizzo, they do them at the festivals here a lot, and my actual Italian friends are like, no, this is not a cannoli. So I figured this would be a good thing to try at Via Napoli to see if it's closer to a real authentic cannoli. That is delicious, and I have had real cannolis because I went to the Carlos Bakery in Boston, which I'm told are very good actual cannolis, and this reminds me of that. It's got a sweetened candied orange and chocolate chip filling in there, super crispy shell. I really enjoy that, and cannoli's not my top choice for a dessert, but if you're going to get one at Disney World, this needs to be it. Via Napoli, one of my all-time favorites. It is so good, that pizza. I can't even explain how good it is to you. You just need to eat it. So it seems like Italy Pavilion, particularly Via Napoli, is the exception to the curse of the bad Italian food here at Disney World. Because you know what else is never great? It's the festival food from the Italy booth. I know that's crazy. I know you're thinking there's no way that's possible. But it is possible. Every single time, any festival, whatever booth they put right here in Italy, it's not anywhere near as good as the food at the restaurants in here. It's weird. But if you're gonna eat Italian in Disney, this is where you need to do it. There it is, right there. Beyond Via Napoli, there are 2 other locations inside the pavilion itself. There's Tuto Italia right there. That's your more traditional pastas, chicken parmesan, that kind of Italian food, as opposed to pizza, which of course you can get at Via Napoli. And then right here is Tutto Gusto Wine Cellar. Now currently, as of right now, Tutto Gusto does not offer any food. Prior to the closure, they did charcuterie boards and some little antipastis, and you could get your wine and sit down in there. However, right now, the only seating in there is extended overflow for people eating at Tuto Italia, so they have more room to space them out. But as of very recently, you can actually go into Tutto Gusto and order cocktails and wine to go off their menu. This is Tutto Gusto, which is the wine cellar part of this. And until a few weeks ago, this was just overflow seating for Tutto Italia. But a couple weeks ago, they added a walk-up bar option. So you'll walk in through Tuto Italia. They'll let you know if you can go in or not. You can stand on a number. They have their own menu. It's only grab-and-go drinks. There's no food you can order at this, and you can't drink at the bar. But the bartender will make you a to-go drink, and you can have an Italian deliciousness. I grabbed the Italian martini. It's made with limoncello and then Ciroc lemon. He said his favorite was the Aperol Spritz, but I thought I'd show something different, and I love limoncello, so I thought it was fun that limoncello was in a martini. Ooh, that is tasty, and I can definitely taste the limoncello. That is really good. I like limoncello, but it's really intense, and having this be over ice with some other ingredients definitely knocks it down, but it's still super refreshing. It's kind of like a boozy lemonade. In the wine bar inside Italy, where you can also walk up and get wine to go, they have a limoncello spritzer. I don't care for that one. It's pre-made, and it kind of tasted chemically to me. It just wasn't something I was into. However, this, where the bartender made it to order, is phenomenal. So I would say Aperol Spritz or this, or of course a good glass of Italian wine. You can't go wrong. Well, friends, that is a wrap on our eating Italian food here in Walt Disney World. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you had Italian food in Disney? What's the best? What's not the best that you've enjoyed? Anywhere not getting a fair rep? Make sure you can always leave reviews at AllEars.net and let us know how your dining experiences have been, so make sure to go do that as well. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. Until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.